Hi everyone, it's Eddie here, and today I'm doing a viewer request. I haven't done one of those, and if I have, I've forgotten about it 'cause it's been a while. But this viewer watched my how to make abstract gel prints video, and she wanted me to do a video similar, just using regular colors, as she said, regular paints. So in that other video, I used some fluid acrylics, I used some inks, a couple of other different colors and stuff. But so what I did is I pulled out my most basic colors. I've got a permanent red, a cad orange, primary yellow. I have a hooker's green and phthalo blue. I also have black and white. Then I have, now I chose these because to me, these are regular paints because they're pretty affordable. They're readily available. They're craft paints. So they're very user friendly. I have a festive green amethyst. This is like a violet color, purple. Zinc, which is a metallic gray. I have teal and a rich espresso, which is a beautiful brown metallic. And then so those are deco art. And then these three are folk art metallic. I have a ice blue, Inca gold, and a shimmering steel. All right. And I have some water, H2O, just plain water, nothing added. I got a couple of tools here, paintbrush. This is a basting brush that I use for my art. You can get this silicone tool at most dollar, stores, or if you're in the UK, pound store, that sort of thing, right? A discount store. And then these are makeup um, tools, but they're great for using on the gel plate because it's a silicone type of brush. So yeah, it's great. It won't harm your gel plate. I'm going to use for paper the white Hammermill 32-pound color copy paper. And then as a pickup paper, I'm using my Brown Craft deli paper. I have my trusty bearing. This is a wood bearing used to um, smooth things out on the plate. Once you got your paper down, you use it over the paper. All right, so I haven't planned anything specific. I'm just going to show you a few things, and hopefully we can create some cool, abstract prints. I'm going to start with this yellow here. Just primary yellow. Again, regular paint. These are available at a few discount stores. This is Essentials. It's by Royal Langnickel, and they're great. They work just fine, and they're inexpensive, which I like. Um, so here's what let's do. Let's put a few dots out. I'm going to brayer it out. I have the white paper underneath so I can kind of stay within the confines of my paper and I don't waste paint. All right, so got that yellow paint there. I'm going to spray this with some water. Like I said, it's just plain water. Let's see what that does. Because sometimes the water reacts with the oils on the plate and it starts to separate the paint. And you can see in here, it's starting to do that already. So I'm just going to come in with this. There's a hair in here. Oops, get that out of there. Maybe tap some of these larger ones. Just to break it up a little bit. But the water is doing its thing. It's separating these paints, or the paint. Okay, so there we have this first layer down. I'm going to let this completely dry, come back, and we'll add another layer to this. All right, that's 99% dry. There's a couple of wet spots in here and there. It's no big deal. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come in now with this metallic blue, shake it up good. You always want to shake up these paints, these craft ones, because sometimes the binder um, can separate a little bit. So you just want to give it a good shake before you start. All right. So for this one, we'll do some 3 areas. How about that? And for this, I'm going to use my little silicone tool. And I'm just going to draw or paint, just kind of make some marks, spread out the love, go off the edge too, so that gives the final print some interest. I almost said Pinterest. All right, so that should dry relatively quickly. Let's see how that looks. That's interesting. Okay. And then what we can do, let's try, let's do a little bit of blue here. But I'm going to put it in the corner here of my plate. I'm going to add some water. Thin it out a little bit. Because when you thin it out, you can create some really cool effects on the plate. Now, I'm just going to kind of tap around. I don't want to mix this too much because I don't want to sort of create green. I mean, we'll get some green tones when we pull it, because with the blue paint behind the yellow, obviously it's going to take on a green vibe, but it's not going to overpower the print. All right, so at this point, I'm going to let all of this dry. All right, so this layer is now dry. So I'm just going to we can throw it on a pickup color and put down our paper and see what we get for our first regular paint abstract print. And I think for a pickup color, I'm going to go with just white because I've got 2 blues and a yellow. I don't really want to ruin those colors. So I'm just going to pull it with some titanium white. Probably don't need that much more than this, because these aren't thick layers, which is great for, a dry time for pulling. All right, let's get our paper down. I have my tissue, or my deli paper. So I'm just going to get those edges up. All right, so let's see where we're at. This should be dry. It's been sitting here about 10 minutes. And I've got my air conditioning going, so that helps speed the process up a little bit. Very cool. I guess that was down on the plate. Huh. Oh, look at that. You got some really cool textures here. You can see all those. I love this. So there you have it. There's our first one, just using regular paints, available to anyone and everyone, and just a little bit of water and a couple of tools that you can find at a discount store. You get a beautiful print. How about that? Now, let me tell you what I found. I got me a toothbrush. This is a brand new one, actually. I got a big old pack of them one day. I found a straw. So we're going to rock and roll here. Let's see. I think for the next one, I'm going to start with some black, but I want to put it in here, this little plastic palette, and just mix up some of this with water. And so that way I can put it on the plate and then use my straw to blow it around and create cool marks on the plate. Needs more. Get in there. Go. All right. So here's what I'll do. I think I'm just gonna drop it around. All right. And at this point, I'm gonna warn you if my head drops onto the plate because I've passed out from doing this technique. It gets me a little lightheaded, but we're gonna give it a go. So usually I come at it from an angle. You probably, I don't know if you can see me, but all right, I'm going to go ahead and move on to the next color. This is still a little bit wet, but I want to do the same technique, but with this zinc metallic. And I thought that would be a good combo. Got to make the sound effects. Get to this too. Just use the end of your brush handle. That's enough of that. I'm going to let that dry on its own, and then we'll pick a pole color. So that other one's taking a little longer to dry. And that's basically because the water has to evaporate before you can move on. So for this one, I pulled out my 8x10. And let me think here. So let's do one. Let's go with some red. This is a permanent red, Rouge Bellman, from Essentials. Something like that. Let's see here. Abstract doesn't mean create, like, you can use your brayer. And just do that. That's what I want. So you see, you can see that. Okay. All right, I'm going to go ahead, after I shake this, I'm going to use some of this espresso metallic. Oops. Get a little bit going here. You see, it doesn't take much paint either. Unless you want to use more paint, that's up to you. That's with all of this. It's up to you. Okay. Let's see what we've got. That's nice. All right, so I'm going to use orange for the next layer. This is a cad orange. Cad orange, baby. So I'm gonna go this way this time. And I don't want to overpower anything, so keep it simple with that application of paint. And I'm mainly talking to myself because I tend to go big without thinking about it. All right, let's see what we've got. So I see some really cool stuff going on there. And if I put it here, the white paper behind it, I can see everything looking fantastic. And let's think about a pull color. So for something like this, and we don't have a ton of metallic, but we have a little bit. And so maybe we can pull this with a metallic paint. All right, I have this Inca Gold. I'm going to pick this up with the Inca Gold. Just let this dry a little bit. Before I do that, I want to do some little toothbrush spritzing here. And I'm trying to think. I think I should use the... I'm going to use the black. Let's see. Add some more black in here. And shouldn't need to add more water. Maybe just a splash. I just want it loose enough that it won't, come out in big, thick globs. And this is a technique I used a lot when I mainly watercolored. And it's just dip your toothbrush in the paint. With your finger, pull on it. Get some cool marks there. See, I like it because it's not like a heavy, it's not a heavy layer. So it's not going to overpower anything going on here. Most of it is on my fingers. That's okay. We're going to leave it at that. Simple as that. And we'll pick it up with the gold. And once that dries. This is dry now. Let's take a look at what we'll see once, like from the front, because this is how we'll see it on the paper. I like that. And so I have my gold here. This is the Folk Art Metallic Inca Gold. Come on. There we go. And it's not a super thick paint either, which is just fine with me. This particular metallic. All right, let's get our paper down. A little lopsided, but that's okay. As long as the entire gel plate is covered with the paper, we're good. And with my brayer, what I like to do is go around the edges, make sure those edges are nice and pressed into the gel plate, into the paint on the gel plate. Make sure you get some good contact, That's what's going to allow for the print to pull off your plate and not come off in patches. You know. And another trick to knowing when your print is ready to pull, if it feels cool to the touch, it's not ready yet. However, there are times when it doesn't feel cool to the touch and it's still not ready. So just kind of play it, be careful. Um, but generally, when your paper is not cool to the touch, it's ready to pull off the plate. Now this I can feel it's still moist. I hate that word too, but that was appropriate. Okay, let's bring back our silver and black. And there's a couple of wet spots. I'm not going to worry too much about that. What I am going to worry about is what color I'm going to pull this with, because that's where we're at now with this one. You know what? I'm kind of feeling purple. Let's take this amethyst, shake it up real well. Oh, that might be a little much. That's okay. Let's just roll it out. You see, I like it too because it's not super thick. It's and if you roll it out enough, it will get transparent. But I just want to try and make this even. Something must have been a little bit wet right there. That's okay. This one will be interesting for sure. It may not be a masterpiece, but we're having fun and we're experimenting, trying something new. And that is the takeaway here. Is you're experimenting. I need my bearing. Let's make sure this is all smoothed out. That was something stuck to the bottom of the bearing. That's what made that. Oh, Eddie, silicose. You can also use this end here. It's usually smooth. All right, let me let this dry and I'll be right back. All right, so this one is dry. So I'm going to crack my edges. There's not that much paint on here, but you always want to give your edges a little bit of a rub down, loosen them up, because that's when stuff starts to stick. That's usually where it happens. Wow, wow, wow. That's exactly what I thought it would do. Apologize for the sunshine there. Here, let me do this. You'll also get the full picture at the end of the video, but I think that turned out really, really well. We've got some great, of these separating marks here. Some lines from the brayer. That's fine. And the gold, I love that I used the gold because it's not super strong. It doesn't overpower. The black adds some cool texture and a little bit of contrast to the orange and the red. And the espresso is just fantastic. It just goes together. Awesome. Let's check on the print on the large plate. Let's see if I can straighten this out here. The paper loves to curl, loves to curl. All right. If this one is not dry yet, I'm going, oops. I'll do another, we'll work on another print. Oh, yeah, something's happening here. This will be a good one for Halloween. Fantastic. Fantastic. I love it. Now, here's a few things. I honestly, I wish this hadn't happened, but this is something I can probably come in. I'm gonna come in. Let me get a brush. I'm gonna wet my brush too a little bit, just so it helps everything slide along. I'm gonna come in with a little bit of this amethyst and do my best to fill it in. And that is fantastic. So you don't need much. So you can fill in some of those areas that you missed or where the paint separated too much. And just kind of blend it out so it's not patchy. Okay. I think that looks great. There we have it. So we have our 3 beautiful prints that we created today. Abstract prints using basic colors, basic regular paints. And we got some really cool abstract prints done today. So thank you so much to Elizabeth, and I'm not going to give you your last name, who requested this in the comments. And I appreciate it. You challenged me a little bit, which is always good. So if you have something that you'd like to see me do or try, drop a comment. Let me know. I appreciate it. Don't forget to hit like, and if you're not subscribed yet, please subscribe. Thanks so much, guys. I will see you very soon. Bye.